Well, good morning, folks, and welcome to the Wednesday check-in with Pastor Brian. I am Pastor Brian, and it's a joy to welcome you to this space that we have been keeping on Wednesday mornings for quite some time now. And I am out here actually sitting on one of these brand new wooden benches. There are actually 6 or 7 of them that Mark Pepper and his Eagle Scout troop built for us in short order over the weekend, and have them done and just to be stained. Actually, I think they're going to be stained today, and then put in this place as the concrete benches that are here have seen better days. And so these are going to brighten up this space, which is great, especially as we look to use this outside space even more this fall with our programming. So congratulations to Mark Pepper, and thank you to him as he works on his Eagle Scout project. So I am out here using one of these and thinking about a lot of things, but especially about baseball. And if you know me, you know that I am a huge baseball fan. Go Braves, go Atlanta. And I am very excited that we are in a baseball season of some sort, 60 games. I'm a little bit worried about whether the season can continue with all of the coronavirus concerns, of course, and how they've handled that, maybe not so well. But nonetheless, it is exciting to have baseball on the TV and to watch my Braves so far go 7-4 and hopefully continue to win. But one of the things that I think about is how baseball is often used as an analogy for faith. And there's lots of analogies to be drawn. But one of them, as I think about how we have gone on months and months in this pandemic, is about extra innings. Because a baseball game theoretically could go on forever. Because, 3 outs per an inning could go on forever, 3 outs per inning. But also, if it's tied at the end of an inning, go on to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And there have been games that have gone on 20 plus innings. And what's interesting is in the last few years, baseball has tried to do some things to make games shorter, decreasing the amount of time between pitches and doing replay. And also, this year has instituted a rule that a player starts on second base in games that go beyond 9 innings. So if you're tied at the end of the bottom of the 9th and you go to a 10th inning, a runner starts on second base, with the idea that there would be an increase in the chance of a runner hitting or a batter hitting and a runner scoring and getting some action in that later innings. And I actually saw my Braves win because of this new rule, which of course is great to see a win. But baseball, unfettered, could go on forever. And I don't know about you, but some days I feel like this has gone on forever and could go on forever. I remember back to March and the times when I thought, it'll just be, a couple weeks, maybe a month, and we'll get back to normal. All will be well. All will be normal. We'll get to glide into summer and enjoy ourselves. Well, we of course know that's not how things turned out. And even now, as we have some hope for a vaccine and treatments, maybe by the beginning of next year, maybe, we have some hope that things will return to normal, that things will find an end. But we don't know that. And we're in what feels like inning 16, 17, maybe more of this, with no clear end in sight. What hope have we? And I think that's a question that is easy to ask but hard to answer. But one thing I know for sure is what Psalm 90 verse 2 tells me. That even before the mountains were formed and even before the earth itself was made, everlasting to everlasting, God was God. And even as we find ourselves in the midst of wondering, where is the end? Is it even in sight? We can know that while that answer is unsure and uncertain, God's presence, even in the midst of turmoil, is certain. We have God and we have one another. It is the God who brought dust out of the earth, breathed into it, and called it good, that will bring us through. It is the God that has brought you this far through the good and the bad and the horrible stuff, has brought you too far to leave you where you're at. It is the God who has worked miracles in our lives and in the world that will continue to show us the way to love, to compassion, to hope, and to healing. It is the God who works through the nurses and the first responders and the scientists developing vaccines and all of the frontline workers in whatever shape and form. It is the God who works through and in those people that will be with us until the end of this pandemic and until the end of the age. I take hope in that. I take hope in that, even knowing I will find days where I just feel hopeless. I still have hope in God's sure and everlasting presence that has been here long before I ever was and will continue long after I am gone. Only God will lead us through. Well, I hope as you're watching, baseball, I know there are baseball fans and there are not baseball fans, and some of you might not have the patience for that. But as you catch a game on TV or really any other sport, that you might remember that even as the innings draw on, we know that God's presence continues. And that even as we play this game, deep, deep into the extra innings, we know surely that we have one another and that we have God. And certainly that it isn't a game, that it is a real life. I offer that to you today, and I hope that you're doing well. And I hope if you're not doing well, that you're finding ways to surround yourself with people and resources that you need. I know that we're always here for you, know that we're always praying for you, and know that we're always available to take your call. You can call the church office, leave a voicemail, or use the emergency line if you have something that's dire. God be with you, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.